This article describes the composition and actions of the Argentine naval forces in the Falklands War. For a list of naval forces from the United Kingdom, see British naval forces in the Falklands War. Background: the Argentine Navy, particularly its commander-in-chief and junta member, Admiral Jorge Anaya, was the main architect and supporter of a military solution to resolve the long-standing claim of sovereignty over the islands. His first attempt came in 1976 when he was the Navy Chief's operations of the recently established military dictatorship, but General Videla and Admiral Massera were more busy disappearing people at the time. By 1982 the country was already in the midst of a devastating economic crisis and large-scale civil unrest against the repressive government, and Anaya, now a member of the ruling junta, ordered Operation Rosario to be brought forward to the 2nd of April. After a group of Argentina military infiltrated a group of Argentine scrap metal merchants and raised the Argentine flag at South Georgia the 19th of March, General Galtieri, acting president, agreed in his intention to mount a quick, symbolic occupation, followed rapidly by withdrawal, leaving only a small garrison to support the new military governor and force the UK to begin talks on the long-delayed sovereignty claim. On the 2nd of April an amphibious landing was made at Stanley, and on the 3rd of April Argentine Marines used helicopters to take over the Georges. Whilst the military junta was redeploying the assault units back to the home bases they found, the British responded with a large-scale mobilization to organize a naval task force and ground forces to retake the islands by force. The war could not have happened at a worse time for the Argentines. They were expecting new destroyers, frigates and submarines being built in West Germany, and the shipment of French Super 8 Ondards and Exocets were not yet complete. On the other hand, the Royal Navy was in middle of great cutbacks that would have eliminated its force of aircraft carriers and amphibious forces in the coming months. Argentine Navy. Operation Rosario. Vice Admiral Juan José Lombardo. Ships that only participated in the initial invasion, the 2nd of April. Task Group 20. Commander José Sarcona Ara Comodoro Py, a Gearing-class destroyer, formerly US Perkins. Ara Comodoro Segui, and Alan M. Summer-class destroyer, formerly US Hank. Task Group 40. Rear Admiral Jorge Lara Aracabo San Antonio, Argentine-built US Soto County-class LSD, an amphibious landing ship. South Georgia Aragarico, a Drummond-class corvette. Arabafia Praizu Antarctic survey ship, a polar transport, later deployed as hospital ship off Stanley. Bafia Praizu transported Argentine forces from Corba to Uruguay base to South Georgia in the events preceding the Falklands War. Falklands Theatre of Operations. Ara Alferez Sobral, a Sotoyomo-class patrol vessel, formerly US Salish, damaged by sea skewer missiles fired by Westland Lynx, has Mk 2/3 helicopters from HMS Glasgow and HMS Coventry. Ara Comodoro Somalera, a Sotoyomo-class patrol vessel, formerly US Barata 210. During the war the British claimed to have sunk the Comodoro Somalera with sea skewer. This claim was subsequently dropped when the British evaluated wartime reports after the war. The ship continued to serve in the Argentine Navy until 1998, when she sank in the port of Ushuaia during a storm following a collision with Ara. Sub-official Castillo Isla Los Estados, a transport ship sunk by HMS Alacrity in Falklands Sound. Bahia Buen Suso, a transport ship. The Bahia Buen Suso transported Constantino Davidoff's party to South Georgia, precipitating the Falklands War. She was moved from Stanley to the Falklands Sound on the 29th of April. During the trip, the ship spotted the schooner Penelope, property of the FIC, which was taken over by an Argentine prize crew the following day. While at anchor at Fox Bay, the transport ran aground in a storm and was later damaged by 30mm Aden cannon fire from BAEC Harrier FRS Mk-1S. The British eventually captured the hull after the war and sunk her in high seas. South Atlantic Theater of Operations, direct control from Bahia Blanca, Buenos Aires Province. Vice Admiral Juan Lombardo. Task Group 79.1 Rear Admiral Jorge Lara Araventa Cinco de Mayo, a Colossus-class aircraft carrier, formerly HMS Venerable. Threat of submarine attack kept the ship confined to port after the 3rd of May. Hercules, a Type 42 destroyer. Santissima Trinidad, a Type 42 destroyer. Punta Medianos, a fleet tanker. Task Group 79.3 Captain Hector Bonzo. General Belgrano, a Brooklyn-class cruiser, formerly Phoenix, sunk by Mk-8 torpedoes fired by HMS Conqueror. Hipólito Bouchard, an Alan M. Sumner-class destroyer, formerly Bori. Pedro Buena, a Alan M. Summer-class destroyer, formerly Scarlet. Punta Delgada, a fleet tanker. Task Group 79.4 Captain Juan Carmen Drummond, a Drummond-class corvette. Guerico, a Drummond-class corvette. Granville, a Drummond-class corvette. Submarine Force. San Luis, a Type 209 submarine. Santa Fe, a Balao-class Guppy program submarine, formerly Catfish. It was disabled by aerospatial as 12 ASM fired from Westland Wasp has Mk-1 helicopters from HMS Plymouth and HMS Endurance. Others are Almirante an icebreaker acting as hospital ship. Francisco de Gurruchaga, a patrol ship, formerly Luis No. Argentine Coast Guard, stationed at the Falkland Islands. Islas Malvinas GC-82A Z-28 type naval patrol craft, damaged by a Westland Lynx has Mk 2/3 helicopter from HMS Alacrity on 1 May 1982 near Kidney Island. She was captured at Stanley by the British on 14 June 1982 and renamed HMS Tiger Bay. Rio Iwasu GC-83A Z-28 type naval patrol craft, damaged by BAEC Harrier FRS Mk-1S on the 22nd of May in Kwajalein Sound while steaming towards Goose Green with two 105mm guns aboard, beached in Button Bay. The guns were recovered by divers from the Argentine army and taken off by helicopter, though one was damaged, and were used in the defense of Darwin. Later captured by British forces but attacked by Westland Lynx has Mk 2/3 from HMS Penelope firing a sea skewer on 13 June 1982. The wreck was towed to Goose Green after the conflict. Argentine Merchant Navy, blockade runners Formosa, a 12,762-ton cargo ship, attacked by Argentine Douglas A-4 Skyhawks of Grupo 5 by mistake. She was hit by an unexploded 1,000-pound bomb and strafed while bounded for Rio Gallegos. Survived the conflict. Mar del Norte, a cargo ship from La Naviera Company, survived the conflict. Largo Argentino, an Elma cargo ship, survived the conflict. Rio Cinchel, an Elma cargo ship, survived the conflict. Puerto Rosales, a commercial tanker from YPF, survived the conflict. Rio Carcarana, an Elma cargo ship, 8,500 tons, damaged by Sea Harriers in Port King, subsequently attacked by both sides, until finally sunk by sea skua missiles fired from a Westland Lynx helicopter on the 23rd of May 1982. Yefuin, a requisitioned oil tender, 494 tons, from Giamatti Company, captured 15 June 1982 and renamed Falklands Sound, sold to a British owner from London in 1991, then transferred to several Panamanian companies, returned to Argentine control as Audax II when bought by Sintra Company in 2008 but still under Panamanian register. Spy trawlers Narwhal, owned by Compañía Sudamericana de Pesca y Exportación from Bahía Blanca, a 1,300-ton stern fishing freezer trawler, on patrol northwest of the exclusion zone since the 26th of April. Under the command of LT. CDR Juan Carlos González Llanos. The civilian skipper was Captain Néstor Leonardo Fabiano. She made a number of visual contacts with British aircraft and warships, including a submarine, according to the Argentine version, damaged by an unexploded 1,000-pound bomb and 30mm Aden cannon fire from two BAE Sea Harrier FRS Mk-1S of 800 Naval Air Squadron HMS Hermes. A member of the crew, sailor Omar Alberta Rupp, was killed. She was later captured by Royal Marines on 9 May 1982. She eventually sank in a storm at 52.750 degrees south, 58.033 degrees west, -52.750, -58.033 on 10 May 1982. Maria Alejandra, owned by Inda HNOS, from Mar del Plata, on patrol northwest of the exclusion zone from 26 April to 4 May. She assisted the disabled Ara Alferez Sobral to reach Puerto de Seda. Maria Alejandra also acted as a radio link between the ill-fated Narwhal and the mainland. Constanza, owned by APMA from Mar del Plata, on patrol northwest of the exclusion zone from 26 April to 4 May. Invierno, owned by APMA from Mar del Plata, on patrol northwest of the exclusion zone from 5 to 9 May. Capitan Cain Pa, based at Mar del Plata, for the government fishery agency SEIM. Maria Luisa, based at Mar del Plata, spotted a British warship on 26 April, shortly after being overflown by a fighter jet. This revealed to the Argentine intelligence the path of the British battle group, part of a three-trawler flotilla that intercepted supply vessel RFA Fort Grange on 29 April at the position 34.467 degrees south, 31.433 degrees west, -34.467, -31.433. On 30 April she returned to Mar del Plata due to mechanical problems. Usurpal, based at Buenos Aires, under the command of LT. CDR Fernando Pedro Amorena. The civilian skipper was Captain Adolfo Antonio Arbelo from Mar del Plata. 50% of her crew was Spanish, part of a three-trawler flotilla that intercepted supply vessel RFA Fort Grange on 29 April at the position 34.467 degrees south, 31.433 degrees west, -34.467, -31.433. She made radar contact with 6 ships sailing in convoy on 8 May. Warned off by a warship and a helicopter, she returned to Buenos Aires. Mar Azul, based at Mar del Plata, part of a three-trawler flotilla that intercepted supply vessel RFA Fort Grange on 29 April at the position 34.467 degrees south, 31.433 degrees west, -34.467, -31.433. She tracked the 8th of May convoy by radar along with usable, but was ordered to return to Mar del Plata on 9 May before making visual contact. Rio de la Plata II, an Elma cargo vessel of 10,409 tons, spotted by British off Ascension Island and warned off on 24 April 1982. The most successful Argentine spy ship, she collected valuable intelligence about the type of warships, logistic craft and merchantmen deployed by the British to the south. Falkland Islands Company ships seized by the Argentine Navy are a forest armed coaster. She fought off the Lynx helicopter that put the patrol craft Islas Malvinas out of action near Kidney Island on 1 May. The aircraft came back to HMS Alacrity with serious damage from small arms fire. The ship rescued 2 survivors of the crew of Ara Islada Los Estados, sunk by Alacrity on 10 May. She towed Ara Monsonon to Darwin later in the war. After this ship faced the attack of 2 British frigates and a helicopter, she uploaded Ara Monsonon's cargo and completed the supply mission to Stanley on 25 May. The ship was involved in harbor duties until the end of the war. Ara Monsonon, armed coaster. She survived the attack of 2 British frigates and a helicopter, successfully avoiding them by running aground at Seal Cove. Her supply mission was eventually carried out by Ara Forrest, which took her to Darwin, recovered by British forces on 29 May after the Battle of Goose Green. Ara Penelope, schooner, spotted by Ara Bafiab when Sussex Speedwell Island and seized by an Argentine crew on 7 May. She accomplished a logistic mission from Fox Bay to Stanley. While uploading her cargo, the schooner endured a naval bombardment by HMS Plymouth on Fox Bay's fuel depots during the first hours of 26 May. She eventually reached Stanley on 2 June.